It's Gong Week on the Beer and a Bet. We talk all things Mitch beer racing. We cover off all runners that are heading to Kembla Grange on Gong Day. Of course, the week that was Clever Art getting the job done along with Brazil and a few near misses to boot. We chat on Beery's 50-metre sprint, if you'd call it that, and much, much more on this week's episode of A Beer and a Bet. Hello and welcome to another episode of A Beer and a Bet, and it's, well, grand final week. Beery down there at Kembla Grange. It's, of course, the Gong meeting. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm traveling bad. I'm off the bridle.
Yeah.
I've woken up absolutely terrible this morning. I've had more pseudoephedrine than your local crack house this morning, but we just got to soldier on. Steph told me to
Push on.
just ignore it. Just ignore it. I said, sweet, no drugs.
Just pretend it's not there.
Yeah,
Doesn't
um,
exist.
nothing. A few of those lemon, what are they? 161, 162 cans.
Yeah.
That'll get me absolutely set. So now we're
Speaking of
ignoring
which,
my
I called
illness.
them a Suntory the other day, and I got a couple of younger blokes that I work with at the golf course, and they're like, mate, it's not a
What do you mean?
Suntory.
That's what.
It's a 196.
Oh, I call them Suntories.
Me too. Must be a thing the oldies do.
I call them a lot worse on a Sunday after I've had 12.
Well, talk me through it. Bad week, bit going on, a bit emotionally fragile. It's usually where we do our best work.
It has been a rough week. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of planning, a lot of stuff.
You don't like
You know
planning, do
what?
you?
I was very happy. I was very happy with our runners last weekend.
Hmm.
Clever art taking out the Snake Gully Cup.
Can you just
Absolutely.
hang on a minute? I host this show, mate.
Well,
What
you
are
wanted
you
to talk about
What are you doing?
the week that's just gone.
Yeah, and how bad it was.
I thought it was good.
The great segue into your 50-meter performance at the Gong. We'll get to the winners. Don't you worry about that.
No, we're not talking about that. That's been you know what?
Yeah.
They asked me a couple of weeks ago, like, oh, we're gonna have a running race, lol. So I thought, well, obviously, if you're inviting me,
Hmm.
right,
Piss take.
it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke if you're inviting me in a running race, like lols. And they're like, yeah, and the mascot from the local paper. Yeah, great. Mate, I got over there. They had printed race books
Oh, wild. Form?
and odds, right? And I got over there. Everyone's like stretching out.
Yeah.
They got their Yeti bottles next to them. I went over there in
Nice.
jeans and I had a can of Pepsi Max and jeans. And I went, as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, you're kidding me.
Did you have flats on as
On
well?
the floor, no, I had like my Lacoste high tops on.
Oh, something. At least you sort of dressed for the occasion.
Um,
It appears just on review as well, like you got off to a pretty average start. Looked like you nearly stumbled out of the gates. Talk me through that.
well, you think being fat that I'd have a very large center of gravity, but I think I got a bit far forward and my
Yeah.
legs got a bit far behind and
Oof,
it felt terrible. With
tough
each
viewing.
stride, I could feel how tight my hamstrings and that were, and it was just putrid, mate. I wouldn't run if someone was chasing me, and yet
Yeah.
here I am stretching it out down there, and I just left straight after, mainly because I was just so embarrassed. And then they rang me. They're like, "Oh, where are you?" I said, "I'm at the back at home." And they're like, "Oh, we're getting a group photo. We're doing a presentation, a presentation." So anyway, I've given myself 12 months. I'm out. No, there'll be no Mitch in the running race next year.
Yeah, maybe you could train Angus or something to he can go in there and run for you next year. But anyway, on the upside, how big was Clever Art? She was super impressive and got the job done in the Snake Gully Cup.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Rap for the Patriot boys. I don't think there's a race in Australia that they wanted to win more than the Snake Gully Cup. And, to do it with a 10 grand online purchase from 12 weeks ago. The thing that I love most about Clever Art is every time you have to do the data on it and you just filthy because it just goes against, it blows your little brain up that she just keeps improving. And hello.
Say hi to Mitch. Hi to everyone out there. It's just Harley's got the day off today. She's a bit unwell, but also a
Oh,
big fan of
no.
YouTube and the podcast.
did you tell young Talia to be gritty and suck it up and ignore it like you did to me? No, you
Can you
give
go
her
be
a day
busy for
off.
5 minutes? I'll be just finish this up, okay? Thanks, sweetheart. See, she listens.
Yeah, but you'll put some little dino nuggets in the air fryer for her and put a movie on. You're telling me to be gritty and suck it up.
Couple of hot dogs in the kettle, and away we go.
Yeah. But yeah, the little clever art, she just goes against every fiber of your being because
Yeah,
she just keeps
just keeps
improving
improving.
each run for absolutely no reason. So it's great.
Yeah, just so happens. May have something to do with the environment. You've done a super job, so well done. 5 lengths. This horse is improving. Speaking of horses improving 5 lengths, Big Brazil, and they didn't improve more than 5 lengths off the car wreck that was Newcastle, but he's improved significantly since he's come to the stable. Saw a post she put up about Mia and all the hard work she's done, so we'll give Mia all the credit there. But well done. This horse is flying, and
Yeah,
congratulations to all involved.
he's such a nice horse. He's going to be such a nice stayer next year that we got him. And I'm so wrapped that we've got him going well. And yeah, big shout out to Mia. She's track work rider here, or more than that. She's taken that horse under her wing, and he wouldn't be winning without her. So that's for sure. So wrap with him. He's gone down the beach. He's going to go to Rose Hill in 3 weeks for a 3 and 4 year old 1800. That'll probably see him out for the prep, and then I think next year when he gets out to 2,000 meters, he could be a sort of Saturday stayer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gone to a new level, not even a new level. He's gone levels on top of levels, as has Clever Art. Nice little segue. Couple of horses available. Tried horse at the moment, Outspeed, currently with Caroline Price. Few 4 or 5 weeks there, a stayer.
Yeah, two
What are your
hundred
thoughts
and
on it?
twenty thousand dollar Tavistock yearling that has gone close a few times, but just not ready. Just looked raw and immature, and placed a few times, not far off it when he's got out. But sometimes in those bigger stables when they're not showing a huge amount, they really rush him out in trip and try and get a result. And he probably just wasn't ready for that. And for him to sort of have a good spell, come back, Caroline Price down in Victoria does such a good job getting these horses up and going, and then he'll come up to us and once he gets out to a mile plus, he'll have no dramas when he's maiden and class one up around here. So for 16 grand, I thought he was a bargain.
Yeah, put on 30 kilos with Caroline as well and still got a bit of work to come. So
I'm a little
whilst we
figure
could
fella
lose a
around
bit.
here, Dano. Then I put on
Yeah.
30 kilos when I moved from Victoria, and it's worked all right for me. So that'll be terrific.
Shout out to the Manshake too. Still waiting on the response from the email, but we are here present waiting. So just don't be afraid. And another one, different type of horse. This one, Azaro's from Deep Field. We've still got about 10% left in her. And Steph said Mitch wants to hold on to this himself, but
No,
don't let him.
that, yeah, no. I mean, yeah, there's 10% there, but honestly, I love it. I said to Steph the other day, just take it off the website. She's like, no, we've got to in that tone as well. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we've got to sell them. You can't just keep it. I said, just it'll be fine. It'll pay for itself. So yeah, I'm not happy not to push that one.
Happy not to push, but there's two are available. Two very different type of horses. One will be at the races soon, and one will take
Yeah,
longer.
she'll get. Yeah, she's my little Oaks filly next year. I know she's by a deep field, but she'll get out in trip. I love her. Love her.
Love that. Hey, also, still got, I believe the number is 11. 11, 1 tickets left to the marquee if you
Oh,
want.
I don't know. James Moss texted me this morning and he said he's got a crew. So
Oh,
I think what are we up to? Like 160 or something?
146.
Unreal.
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 Crazy.
I got the job of picking up salts and footy off their private jet tomorrow that lands out the back of the race course. 3 p.m. I didn't even know there was an airport there, and legitimately, they're flying directly into Wollongong.
Unbelievable.
So
Wild.
put them in, pick them, roll the red carpet out, pick them up. But yeah, no, it's good. It's great, great. Can't wait.
You got the boys doing any work while they're down there, or is it a sort of just, fly by night? They just come in, live the good life, hang out at the Howling Wolf, let everyone know they're on racing.com and RSN, and then just get out of here.
Yeah.
Is that the
The
goal? Or you
word
got them working?
influence, the word influencer is thrown around a hell of a lot, mainly by them. But no, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll
I love it.
see.
Looking forward to
Yeah.
catching up with the boys and putting them through their paces. they've hit up Dean Watling, who's a former Wollongong local, and asked for the places to go. So might be a bit
They
out of
didn't
our
ask me.
wheelhouse.
I live here.
Well, you haven't ventured into all the crevices just yet, Beery. So um, you'll have your moment and your time. Righto, big day. If you want those tickets, of course, steph at mitchberacing.com.au. A few left, and I mean a few. And if Mossy's taken any more, you might get 4 or 5. Let's go to Midway. Fumiko, Spriggsy, he's keen. He's done the map. He's pumped. He wants to land as close as he can, but as comfortable as he can. Midfield. And what do you think her chances are?
That's good. I've heard none of this. That's great. But
No, you don't have to. We got to
I'll just
sort
bring
it.
it over the. I'll just bring it over the races and saddle it up.
Just
Yeah,
walk
no
her
drama.
over.
Every second phone call that I get from Squeaky now is like, I've spoken to Gano. I'm like, oh, here we go. That's his new line. Yeah, I've spoken to Gano. I'm like, all right, well, I won't even come there. I'll
What
just
have you
stay
got
home.
planned?
Yeah, she's a great chance. She's probably just a little bit not flat, but her second up record was terrible, and it was probably her best second up run of her career. She's only beaten half a length. She went to go down to the races the other day, and she just didn't travel well. We scratched her. She took a bit of hair off her hip. She's been fine since. She had an exhibition gallop. There you go. Fumiko having an exhibition gallop. It's something I never
Wonders
thought
will never cease.
I'd say. She had an exhibition gallop with another horse who's a very fast horse last Saturday, and she's great. Spriggsy came in, gave her a little spin around this morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, just to
Ooh.
have his final little feel of her. He's wrapped. They'll run hard, they'll go hard, and she'll be stalking and big track and yeah, gets in terrific at the weights.
Very, very good. I got her on top, which is scary. I hate it. But hey, I think she'll win.
Same.
I think she'll win. Los Padres horse that's another really scary again because last week, and we'll talk about last week in our staking, that was enormous. But last week we thought that we were going to run the Quinella. It unfortunately one just sort of slipped in between us there in Cream Rises and You're Not the Boss. But I think we can run the Quinella, if not the trifecta, in this week's Midway. Los Padres flying Rory Hutchings aboard. Now remember, it's Rory. Last time you called Rory Lee or something like that.
Keegan
Keegan.
or something.
So
Oh, I
just
won't
going
be
to
doing
remind,
that.
yeah, don't. Oh, yeah. Not if Mossy's around. Los Padres.
Um, I think it's great because he's actually more of a 1,200 meter horse.
Mm.
Um, a little bit like Fumiko, and I think these are the sort of horses that you want, rock hard fit horses that aren't necessarily crying out for 1,400, but they get back and they've got a great turn of foot because they'll run along. His last 2 runs have been really good in decent races.
Well, we should have
And
won a midway.
yeah, he should have won a mid. He should have won a midway 2 starts ago. And then last start, he was on a quick backup and he flew the lids and he was just too close. He needs to be ridden right out the back and have last crack. And if they go hard, he'll be right there. And You're Not the Boss. Well, he just hasn't run a bad race all prep. He just hasn't had much luck at all. And probably drawing bad's been good for him. He can do the same, go back and run on. So I think at the 300 meter mark, it'll all look like they're going to run last. And hopefully at the 100, the three of them are going to be right there because they're all got pretty similar racing patterns.
Can we get a bit of John Singleton out of you? You're going to shout the bar if we run the trifecta?
Oh, if we run a trifecta, if we win the trifecta, I'll put 2 grand on the bar at the Howling Wolf Saturday night.
That'll last 5 minutes. Let's go to race number 4, the Benchmark 78. So graceful going around. Nice little race for her to get back in amongst it. Very tough race, of course.
Yeah, mate, she's in the deep end, but from the soft track and she was third emergency at Hawkesbury. And I just said to the team, listen, let's just kick her off at home. It's a strong race. She'll go back from a wide barrier. She'll be doing her best work late. She'll run really well, but there'll be 4 or 5 in that race that are too good for her. But we're all here having a good time. Why not everyone see their horse go around? She'll run well, but I think she'll struggle to beat the first 4 or 5 there for sure.
Yeah, she will, but I think could be a really good platform for to be able to sort of bounce off that and run well.
Yeah, and sometimes, mate, what's going to be a better experience for the horse? What's going to be a better experience for the owners? You know, I could drive it at Aubrey or Wagga or somewhere and she'd be at 1/10 of the price that she is. But we're racing here. Everyone's here. It'll do her no harm, and we'll just get her ready for the preparation.
Yep, absolutely love that. Old Greg got a nice little race penciled in for him, but it will come next week, a 2,000 meter midway, which is probably just a slightly more winnable race.
Yeah, this race I accepted with him hoping to come up on the weaker side, and it's come up the complete opposite. It's pretty strong. So we'll wait. We'll go the midway with him next week over 2,000. He was super. Him running second at Canterbury. Honestly, I think was nearly the highlight of my week. Like Clever Art was great, Brazil was awesome, but there's such good people in Old Greg, and we've been on such a fun little journey. And he's just he's not much good, but he's a trier. And Spriggsy, I don't know how you can ride one that well and it not win. And it was just great to see. Everyone was over the moon. Like you couldn't have told them he didn't win. They were all up and about. So yeah, off to the midway next Saturday.
We bring up the phone call we had after that race, or just let it go?
No, I tell you the highlight of my weekend.
Yeah.
Will Friedman playing darts. One of the most horrendous sporting performances I've ever witnessed. He missed the board twice and then hit a two at Canterbury on Friday night with Big Richie. Yeah, and my phone just lit up. I was driving down Mount Ousley on the way home from Gundagai, and my phone just lit up. Absolute classic.
Well, they have it from 50 meters away. Like, how far away was he?
Mate, so bad. It was so bad.
Rumor has it that he's also asked for the new topic to be debating, so that way a new activity. You won't have to worry about throwing darts. So that might be up his alley.
He's head of the Australian Trainers Association debating team.
Yeah, love it. Well, let's move on to Clever Art. Horse that's absolutely flying. She's improved significantly since joining the stable, but she's going to have to go to a whole new level here.
Yeah, I just can't fault her. Like I just keep racing her, and she just keeps thriving and doing well. I've looked for a reason not to run her all week, and I can't find one. She's just done super. So yeah, I mean, she's drawn well. She's got to step up again, but I don't know. When mares are in the zone and they're in form, you don't put a lid on them. Just keep doing what you're doing and put them in decent races and see where they bob up. She could really acquit herself on Saturday. She might run her best and she runs fourth or fifth, and that's as good as she goes. But there's not many mares in that race in better form. She's got to walk across the road. She's run really well here at her only start at Kembla, and again, she doesn't get in too bad at the weights at all.
Righto. So last week was probably the best week for the podcast tipping wise. It was a complete fill up. We pushed horses within an inch of their lives. We told you how they were going to be ridden, and they were ridden accordingly. Old Greg, Spriggsy, Peach, Luckless should have won. Clever Art, tips by you. Around $26, if you don't mind. You didn't like the gate. I thought it was super, but I'm glad I could talk you into it.
I did. I had my bet on at $26. I don't get that $14 at the start, do I?
Well, it depends. I don't know who's doing the resulting. So obviously they'll be watching. I'm not sure if they're doing them top tote, but a big push for the $26. Do you know why? Because self-interest, nothing like self-interest. I tipped Hurricane Thunder at 41s.
That was sickening.
Oh my.
All I kept thinking after Hurricane Thunder run is imagine Clever Art didn't win. I couldn't go back to the stables.
Yeah.
I just couldn't physically go back to the stables.
And then Old Greg. So like Clever Art doesn't win, then you have Old Greg into Hurricane Thunder.
Yeah. And then
you're wild.
And then Cream Ride, like I know we had a good weekend, but it could have been huge. Cream Rises was that was stinky.
Just went a little bit too quick on You're Not the Boss. Just the race shape was against at the end, but Cream Rises, how far?
Yeah, that was.
We would have copped it if we ran 1-2, but who snuck one into Guinness?
Not a bad day. Not a bad. I'll tell you the best sneaky run and the one to follow out of the whole weekend.
Lightly sparkled.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You obviously read the report, did you?
No, it's the one. It just didn't suit.
Of course.
Young horse like her getting off the fence, and then Blake went back down to the inside, and she just wanted to run all the way back down.
Did you give him a bake as well, didn't you?
I did give him a bake.
Yeah. Is that his first baking?
I just said, Spriggsy, not one of your best. Not one of your best. He was all right, but that's good. That's what's good about him being in the team. He
Yeah,
respects that.
yeah.
I actually understand what he was trying to do,
Mm.
but it was just the wrong thing to do. So that's what's great. I said to him, I would agree with you, but we'd both be wrong.
Yeah. No, that's it. Hey, is what it is. It's a game of opinions, and you got to have them.
Mate, and that's what, and from an owner's perspective and from a stable perspective, I get it wrong too. I run them in their wrong races. I try and get them to run a mile, and they don't run it. I run them on. We ride them wrong, and we make errors all the time. But it's a lot more hidden when a trainer makes an error than a jockey because you're just watching that
Yeah.
minute or so. So he didn't slaughter it. He should have stayed out. He went in, and then when the horse went in, it wanted to run all the way back down to the inside fence, which was because he made that decision. That's what happened. But you know, um, that's why you stick solid. You have consistency. And you work in. If you're going to sack a jockey every time they ride one bad, well, you're going to go through the list pretty quickly.
You'd have none left. Absolutely none left. Well, he's doing a good job. I think he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back in a big way this week. Um, Now, what's next? Staking plan. This is what we need from you. I don't think you've hit the front yet. I think you were still a fair way, but you had a lot of ground to make up. A lot of ground to make up. Brazil, we pushed Brazil. I think I declared Brazil. I said it was a moral, so that's good as well. Didn't have any
Yeah,
staking on it. Took a double with
yeah.
some like well, Sesame Timbers. Actually, talk me through that move for Sesame Timbers. It was 12 into $5.
Not my money. They just the way the track was played, nothing wanted to lead, so they didn't go hard. And we just have to, find a race for him where they've got good, genuine tempo and they get held up and let go.
Righto. Give us your staking plan. You're on fire last week. You're going to do it again. 200. It's
Tough
Gong Day.
week.
200.
It's a tough week this week, but
Week. Start again. 3, 2, 1. Beery, $200 to spend. Staking plan. You sound like Miles Fitzner. He always talks it down, and then just be strong.
all right. You've really G'd me up here. I am sick, by the way. Don't forget that. I'm
Conviction.
gonna have 50 each way on Clever Art again because she owes me nothing, and I think she can run super.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have 25 each way on Fumico and 25 each way on Los Padres.
Love it. No Quinellas, no trifectas, no.
Nah, I'm in no position to be getting fancy.
It's a fair point. You're too far back. You got to make a run. All right, I'm going to give you a set because those of you who won't make Gong Day unless you're able to hopefully make some coin and then afford a ticket next time. I'm going to have $50 Fumico race 2, number 16. I'm going to have $50 race 5, number 7. Not something that we lack, modesty. I think it just wins. $9. Oh, $9, silly price. Race 6, number 10, Midnight Opal. I think it'll win. Have 50 on it. And in the big one, Gringotts, class above these, have 50 on it. They're the 4 horses we've got. Have 50 on each of them. I think we'll get a result.
Now, I'll tell you something else.
Yeah, talk to me.
There was another one of our horses that raced on the weekend, which was a sneaky, sneaky good run.
Go on.
King Frankel.
Sneaky. Oh. Oh.
Mate, I reckon we're a chance with him. I reckon we are a chance to be winning in town with him. I thought he went great.
How'd he come through?
Super. Just ready to go. Ready to go again.
Where's he going next?
Probably go to a 2,000-meter race at Rose Hill in 2 weeks.
Love that.
You like?
Love that.
And be ridden a lot more positively.
Yeah. That'll be key. Righto, that's a
But,
beer. Gong Edition. We'll be back. Bigger, better, stronger.
see you at the Gong. See you at the Gong, people.
Maybe we'll have a break after this. You seem to be tired and really on the way down.
I'm trying, mate. I have scraped myself off the floor to do this, and the real lack of respect I'm getting, I'm going to take it out on you on Saturday with espresso martinis. I'm going to sweat it out of me on Saturday. I will have
Bring it on.
espresso martini.
Yeah.
before the quaddy legs on Saturday. There you go.
It's a
And
challenge.
ain't no one going to stop me because you know what? This is my party on Saturday. This is my thing. And no one's going to be telling me to slow down or take it easy or have a water. Piss off.
As if I'm going to do that. Who's going to tell you to do that,
I'm
Steph?
just warning. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Just warning
Nobody
people.
put the brakes on Beery. All right?
Unless you see me with a red wine and then shut that shit down.
Yeah, no one needs that in their life. Righto.
I'm going to self-exclude myself from red wine. I'm going to email the club now.
We'll look after you. Righto. Bye for now.
Cheers.